welcome to our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Glow.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're the fucking Morning Throners. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. We're the Morning Throners. Sansa 3 on deck. Nice quickie for you. I'm sure we'll find ways to waste time, but we got a nice quick one on our hands.
Yeah, short one.
Short piece.
Glow, welcome back.
Thank you.
Everybody check out the Discord, leave comments, like the video if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah, all that stuff.
Come have fun with us. All right, Kyle, what'd you think of this chapter?
I thought it was a good one. Like I said, we finally got some news of some fighting, at least. I mean, it's on the outside, but we've been talking about how this war kind of stagnated, and here it is.
Sounds like a pretty dope battle.
Maybe not one-sided.
Maybe not very honorable. I mean, yeah, if you were on that one side,
like,
it'd be pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, it's a raid them in the middle of the night kind of thing. But
are you drinking milk?
He did that before.
That's a Russian something.
A white Russian? Are you drinking?
Didn't we hear that Rob already won this? We heard Rob went west and won, or no? We just heard Rob went west.
We know he was going west.
We heard Rob went west. Didn't we hear he went west and won? No.
And whose first chapter, Nels?
It was a Catelyn chapter when he was sending Catelyn to go down to see Renly.
Yeah, we knew he went west.
We're going west.
No, in that Catelyn chapter, she didn't even know. In that cat chapter, she didn't know even where he went. But like in a Bran chapter, like we've heard like 2 or 3 times, like Bran, like in the last Arya chapter, I think Tywin knew that Rob was marching west or something like that. Or
yeah, for sure.
Bran had heard like from Lewin that like they got a letter or something that they were marching west.
Maybe he just. We've
heard about this multiple times that he was marching west. I thought we also heard that he had won already, but maybe not.
No,
It's
I
the
don't think
first
so.
update of his fight. Yeah.
I don't think they ever mentioned that he was marching west. I think it was just the only thing.
We knew he was going west. We've been talking about it for a while.
South, east, or west, and north.
That's
and
what
south.
that was in the cat chapter. Yeah, that's what Cat said.
Right.
She's like, I didn't know which way he was going to march. He was going to march one way, but then we brought it up like 2 or 3 times since then that other characters knew that he was going west. Yeah.
So I guess that's the coolest part about this, but.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even realize that. I thought we'd already known this, and this was just like a new character hearing something for the first time. But I thought we'd already known it, but I guess not.
No, definitely new
effect.
Details for sure. All right, so we start off with Sansa getting ready for Joff. The Hound's there, like, hey, like stop wasting your time. Like the more you wait, the worse it's going to be. So we already have like a negative connotation. Like
he's pissed already.
Yeah.
He pretty much says there, like you're just going to make it worse.
We find out it's because her brother Rob, the traitor, she tries to be a good little bird.
Yeah, we don't find out. She does her best, but yeah, that's what it ends up being.
Well, she asks him as to walk down. She's like, "What did I do?"
Well, yeah, but even at first, she's thinking that like it's Dantos. At first, she thinks.
She thinks Dantos. The worst, right? Which would be
and later on, Tyrion says like, "Oh, they tell me that you go to the Godswood."
Mm-hmm.
It's like. I mean, we kind of said in the last Sansa chapter when she met with Davos,
they're watching her,
like they're watching her. But like, if Tyrion knows that she's going to the Godswood, but that's all he knows, then are they not watching her? Like I think Kyle, you might have guessed like they're gonna get. I don't remember what you predicted, but you might have predicted like they're gonna find this out because Varys knows everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is this like a Varys actually doesn't go into the Godswood and like they actually don't know what's going on? Like they just actually think she's praying? It's because that's what Tyrion seemed to think at the end. I'm kind of jumping.
Yeah, and I mean he didn't. But so this isn't a Tyrion chapter as well. That's the other side of it. I think is that you know usually when you see him you're getting his perspective
and getting his like mental notes.
Yeah, exactly. So this one you're not getting any of that. So I mean maybe he's just that good at bullshitting. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't seem like he let on that he knew what was happening there.
Yeah, and I just bring that up now because she is nervous that's what they're like. That like when she knows that she's in trouble, she's like, "Fuck! I wonder if this is what they found out." Because this is like the one thing that she's been doing that is like against the rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
She puts on Joffrey's favorite dress. The Hound's escorting her.
Dress is getting tight around her chest.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering which pervert was going to mention that.
She's getting those teats.
Yeah, Nelson.
Well, Boros, what's it called? Lets it out for her later on.
Yeah.
Expose them.
Yeah.
Expose him.
The red wines ignore her on the walk down.
I mean, to be fair,
this is like when she gets. That's like when she gets into the crowd. Like there's a huge crowd of people.
The Hound's
like 3 people.
The Hound tells her what it's for. It's for the traitorous brother.
Yeah, like on the walk. Yeah, exactly. On the walk down, like she's afraid she's dead. She's like, "Fucking Ellen's gonna cut my head off." She's like, right? She's like, she assumes that Rob fucked with Jaime, and because of that, she's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they get there, and like Jeff was saying, she passes a dying cat that has a quiver in its chest, And then,
Yellow one, not the Black Tom we keep seeing.
Yeah, it's Yeller.
At first, I was afraid it was going to be the Black Tom.
And then she could hear Lord Giles coughing. She passes by the red wines, and like Jeff was saying, they ignore her for some reason. I don't know why, but they ignore her.
Because she's like fucking public enemy number one right in this spot here. You don't want to be associated with her right here, right?
Yeah, but I feel like other people are probably looking at her. Why can't the red wines look at her?
What's different about the
They
red
probably
wines?
feel bad.
Because they're also captives.
They're her mother's banner people, aren't they?
Kind of. So they're like,
Are they?
well, yeah, I guess they're for the Reach. They're for the Reach. But yeah,
okay.
like Lo was saying, they're captives. So like they're kind of like lesser to Renly or like Highgarden, I guess. So they're in a similar situation as her. Clearly not as bad, but like again, I'm kind of confused by what's going on here. Like they're at the archery butts in the Bailey, which I guess is like the training yard.
Sounds like
Right,
it.
like in the show, this is in the throne room, right? Like, which
Yeah.
makes sense. They kind of, I mean, except for Joffrey shooting stuff, but like, are there a huge crowd of people around just to watch Joffrey shoot cats? Like, why are these people here?
What is a throng
You probably
when they
call
do
them
get to Joffrey? Like, what the fuck's a throng?
I thought it was gonna be
It's
at
a
least 20 people.
Throng
That
of
shit.
people,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like a crowd.
I thought it sounded like a structure when I was using context clues. Definitely a Game of Thrones
He
word.
probably called people to be there. He probably called a little press conference.
Oh yeah, for sure. He probably said, "Hey, you want to be here later? Wait until you see what happens." You know. Like,
Oh,
he
he's
got
just
a
like
bitch.
telling people I'm
Beach
gonna beat up a
this bitch
12-year-old.
bloody.
Like,
Yeah, well, he's also like a 12-year-old at least, but
that's true. It's like when
But
they're
he
like, "Oh,
doesn't
there's gonna be
beat
a
her up
fight
there.
out back at school at lunchtime." Everyone, like, that's what's going on here.
Well,
Maybe
he
at
was
the
definitely-
flagpole at 2:00.
he was trying to publicly shame her, right? And how do you do
Yeah.
that if the public's
Yeah.
not there?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
He's
Just wait. I mean, you could do it in the throne room. Why? We'll just do it right after archery practice. Just bring her down.
probably because this was gonna be like.
Maybe that's where
You know,
everybody
like-
was at that time of
It's
day.
more
It was like,
threatening
all right,
than
like
dying.
I'll
Yeah.
come to you a little bit. Like you guys are all
Yeah,
here.
he's
Like
got a
stay
fucking
here.
Crossbow.
Also, Tyrion tells her later. I didn't think about this. Tyrion tells her later, like, "Oh, we just got news this morning." So like, Joffrey was probably just down there doing whatever. They got news.
true.
Somebody
Shooting
comes
cats.
down, does like the little like whisper in the boss's ear, and he's like, "Bring me Sansa Stark," and like that's just probably how it happened, right? Like now that I think about it, that's probably how the whole thing. That makes
There
sense.
you go. You just figured
Yeah,
it
there
out.
you go, Nelson.
Okay,
Good job.
Cool.
Good
We
job,
talked it out.
Watson.
You guys helped.
Dantos isn't afraid to come up and whisper a little in her ear.
Be brave. Or be strong. Be
I thought it
brave.
was a little.
I thought that was
It's real
sus.
Kelly.
stupid.
That was
Yeah,
sus
Yeah,
as
it's real
fuck.
Kelly.
stupid.
Yeah.
Dude's dumb. She's putting too much money on the wrong guy here. He's
That's why he's a
killed.
fool.
At least he's
think
got his nice wooden horse he's hopping
Yeah.
around on now.
Yeah,
and
just a
his
broom,
melon
right?
mall or whatever.
It'd be one thing like if he played stupid too, but then like he's even in like their interactions, like he's not like, oh, like don't hit her, like, oh, let me hit her. Like maybe that's playing. Like he's not acting like patch face, like hopping around saying a bunch of dumb shit. Like he's just acting like he was a
Patchface
drunk
is
knight that
little
got
screw
demoted.
loose.
Right.
Yeah,
like
Patchface, yeah.
if you wanted to be maybe a little less sus, you would just act really drunk all the time and like
We don't
that's
really
his
see what
name
Moonboy
or that's
does.
who he
There's
is, right?
Moonboy's the other fool. We don't really see him do much. Like
Yeah,
he pretty
he's-
much just like sings sometimes, right?
Just says weird shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. My man Dantos here has free reign for day drinking. You're right. He should just be hammered all the time.
He's
Yeah.
right.
What's he doing?
And that would be like his cover up of like
Yeah.
like act really drunk, like go like breathe on Sansa's ear and be like,
Yeah.
hey, be brave. Like that's what he should be
Yeah,
doing, but
exactly.
he didn't do that.
Yeah, a little Jack Sparrow action.
All right, so we get up to Joff and she like does he speak first or she just like immediately falls to her
Your
knees and
grace.
says your grace?
She
Yeah,
falls
he
to her
just
knees.
goes to her knees. He just
'Cause
didn't know
he's
his
fu-
crossbow. Yeah,
He's cranking it up. You know,
they didn't mention if it was the
Recocking.
one that shoots 3 bolts that Tyrion got him.
I just assumed it was because it's some ornate crossbow.
Yeah, he might have a collection at this point though.
True, but I bet it's that one.
But yeah, he's chilling there with Marin and Boros.
That's a couple
And-
name.
Yeah, exactly.
I
A
ship
celebrity
them.
couple name. Dude, it's a fucked up couple. And she's basically like, he's like, oh, kneeling won't save you. And he's like,
Get her
you're here
up.
to answer for your brother's crimes. And
Get her up.
she's like, I had nothing to do with it. You know that. Why are you hurting
I'm
me?
in fucking here, man.
Yeah, you know I had nothing to do with it.
My brother's
How
a
is this my
traitor,
fault?
I swear.
So she tells Lancel to tell him like what the deal is. Like what?
Well, Hound pulls her up. She gets off
Yeah.
her knees.
Yep, yanks him up. This is the first time like she's ever like talked to Lancel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we've had them in the same room, at least in a POV. Like I don't
They might have been,
recall.
but I don't think they've talked. She has the classic Sansa thought of
I
everybody.
mean, she
Like,
says
oh,
he
he's
was
kind of
always well
pretty.
spoken.
Yeah. So she might have heard him talk, but like I don't think we've ever seen
We've
them
witnessed
like,
it.
interact. Right. Yeah. So she just has like the classic Sansa thought, like,
Like
oh, he's pretty.
I like him.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's telling her that they're using some vile sorcery.
Some wargs. He's got a bunch of wargs fighting with him.
What is a warg? Is it a demon dog kind of
Someone that can
Control animals.
control animals.
Is what I thought wargs was. Someone that control a wolf.
It might be a Game of Thrones word.
thing? Warg is a wolf. It's a Norse wolf, Fenrir.
That's Loki's kid.
But in Game of Thrones, it's people with the ability to enter the minds of animals and perceive the world through their senses and even control their actions.
Isn't Fenrir Loki's son?
Yes.
I'm a fucking genius.
Look at you.
But Loki like banged everything, right?
I don't even watch Marvel, and I knew that. So we know that Rob rode up with his wolves and took down 1,000 Lannister men. Uncle Stafford got his shit eaten.
Yep. While they slept, didn't even have a chance
Got his
to
shit
lift a sword. His shit eaten? Is that what we said?
He got his shit eaten. I like when we hear like what actually happens from Tyrion later on. Like it's pretty fucking cool.
And you see where this came from. Like you see where the story like came from when you hear like what actually happened. Like everyone literally just waking up in the middle of the night, just running around, probably a wolf howling, just like terrified, dead people. Your neighbors getting run over by horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sick.
no, that's fucking wild. But Joff's not happy. Joff gets up and chokes her ass.
Yeah,
No.
Joff's never happy.
No.
She's just scared.
Cold hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish he fucking did it.
No, Joff didn't touch her.
Mm.
That's like the whole back to the whole Cersei thing, right? Where
Joff's too
she
much
told
of
him
a
he never
bitch.
hit his wife or hit a woman.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck, I thought Joff choked her.
Why? What's the line say? It says like she was like choked
Hard
with-
coiled,
Hard,
cold hands.
cold hands around Sansa's throat.
Gotcha.
So she was just speechless, and
But
that's why he yells at
But
her.
then the next thing is like, you have nothing to say. Like I just figured he was like up in her shit, but
Yeah, I can see that.
not as. I'm glad he didn't, but
And Dantos is trying to pull for again. Like she's shocked witless. Like
Yeah, my man is fucking doing everything he can
he's trying.
To get caught.
blow his cover. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, also to help her though. Like she's
He's
grateful
gonna blow
for
his
it.
fucking cover.
But she's grateful
Like,
for it.
Well, she also saved him, so I guess it would kind of make sense if he. Was
Yeah, like
trying to
even
be
if
nice
they're
to
not
her.
meeting the Godswood, like it would make sense, like for people to understand why Dantos would be doing that.
I don't know.
I mean, they'd have to really like think about it, but
Yeah, I just feel like I mean he
The
keeps,
be brave
keeps
is
this shit
stupid.
up.
This part I don't think is that bad. Be brave is stupid though.
yeah. So he points his crossbow at Sansa, and he's like, "You guys are all you Starks are as unnatural as your wolves." And he starts talking about like, "I remember when your beast savaged me," and she's like, "Bullshit! Like what?
that wasn't
You know-
mine. That was Arya's.
Yeah, he's like, "But you killed Lady anyway," and he's like, "No, your dad did, but I killed him."
And I wish I did it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
What a bitch! He wouldn't have done it. There's no
I
way he
killed
would
a
have done
man.
it.
No.
He was bigger than your father. I shot a crossbow
And he
at him.
shot him.
He thought
Like,
I
what
was
a
a baker
bitch.
asking for bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot him through like the gate. I'm sure too.
From like
you
the
know.
top of a fucking trebuchet
Yeah,
or whatever the
where
fuck
he
it's
was in
called.
he was in no harm. He just was shooting.
He probably had
probably
8,
his triple
all
shot.
7 Kingsguard around him. Like, watch me shoot these fools. And he shot a
Yeah.
lady too, and he missed.
Which I think he shot the triple shot and it hit the lady as
Ooh.
well.
Mm,
That was what I was thinking.
makes
And I
sense.
think he's
I think
trying
you're
to
giving
act
too
like
much
he's-
credit. I think you're giving too much credit to Joffrey. I think he probably shot at one person and got lucky and hit a different person in the throat, and then tried to shoot the lady and barely got her in the arm.
For sure. I
Just
agree.
like just to give him a bad accuracy score. Because remember when Tyrion saw him, like he had spent corals all over the yard, and there was
I know, but he
He
got
told-
a cat
He's
today.
he's practicing a lot. He might be getting
Wait,
better.
does
Yeah,
Joff
he did
get
get
a
a
Does he get a body here?
no, we didn't see it.
Okay.
But
That's true. Yeah, can't.
I think we did want to talk about the Arya chapter. I wanted to bring up at the end of it, but we forgot. The Jaqen kills Chiswick. That's in that that chapter covers like 2 months, but that's like in that chapter. But we don't see him fall.
Or that's a Jack and kill.
But
Oh, yeah, for sure.
that counts as Jaqen, right?
I think because
it's
it was
not
all
Arya's.
set up in that chapter. It was like all you're never going to see.
It's an
like,
Arya
you're not
kill.
gonna have Jaqen's point of view.
That's what I was gonna say, Jeff. Is that an Arya kill?
No, by proxy maybe, but
She did not
Put it-
push
it's got
him
an
off the
asterisk
Put
wall.
in, yeah,
Whatever
definitely,
it
definitely
was.
put an asterisk on it.
so there was something else that I said during the after the last one that I forget what it was, and We'll have to look through it because we might have to
yeah, you
touch
did
on it at the end
text.
of
You
this.
texted me and Nelson.
Yeah. But anyway, we can go through this first. We'll get to the end.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll just find it.
I killed a man. He said he killed a man, right? And then she's like, and he died?
Yeah.
Which is the dumbest thing I ever heard, right?
Yeah, he fucking died.
Yeah.
I wish I could kill you, but I'm gonna punish you instead.
Yeah, he's like, Cersei tells me that if I hurt you, or if I kill you, they'll kill Jaime. What I wonder, like, so Joffrey's plan here is torture, publicly humiliate Sansa, and then tell Robb
What he's going to do, yeah.
because the thing is, like, when you're gonna kill Sansa, you don't want to, like, if Robb finds out, you're afraid he's gonna do the same to Jaime. Why is torturing and publicly humiliating not gonna get the same repercussions for Robb?
So I think what he's saying is that he's not going to tell Robb, but I think he's saying, like, we're going to tell Robb that we will kill you if he doesn't yield.
I thought towards the very I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but
He
right
said
when Tyrion
instead
walks
you'll
up,
just be punished, and we'll send word to your brother about what will happen to you if he doesn't yield. Dog hit her.
Okay,
So
what I'm thinking about is more, I think, a line right.
Yeah.
Whatever he's saying right when Tyrion walks up, he's like, "We'll see how your brother likes this," or something like that.
okay.
But I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about there, so we'll see when we get there. But yeah, so he tells
The Hound.
he's like, "We're just gonna beat you," and he's like, "Sandor, just beat her." And
He doesn't
we
say
don't
anything.
really, nothing really happens. We don't
no,
really see how
no
it reacts.
reaction from the Hound.
We've heard before from Sansa
Because
that like,
Dante's jumped right in.
Mhm.
exactly, but we've heard before from Sansa that all the Kingsguard get ordered to beat her, except the Hound, who just like never really does. Like, never really gets ordered to beat her. And we were wondering, like, what would happen if he did? And we were like, well, I'm sure we definitely talked about it. I'm not exactly sure what we were saying, but I mean, here it is, and we don't really get an answer because Dantos jumps in.
It's just another like red flag, bro. Like, chill.
Oh, yeah.
He's not being a good spy. He's like,
this is a good way of doing it though. Like as a fool.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's
yeah,
all you really
yeah.
do.
he tries
And you
to.
know what? You know what
It's-
this gives me huge vibes of? You guys know Pirates of the Caribbean?
No,
I think it's the second one with Will Turner when he's with his dad. And Will
Mhm.
Turner like drops something. He calls like the captain's like, Will, and they both go for it, but he meant for the dad to go
Yeah,
for it, and then
okay.
and then the young one gets in trouble because he dropped the sails or whatever.
Yeah,
And he's supposed to get 10 lashings. And then
the dad says it's
the
his
dad
son.
volunteers for it. The dad volunteers to give his son the lashings instead of
No, he was gonna take him. No, he was gonna take him.
Oh yeah.
And then he was
Davy
like,
Jones,
"Why?" And he's like, "Oh, because it's my son." He was like, "Well, you're gonna give him to him now."
Exactly. Well, yeah, he says it's either you or him. He gives him the choice. Davy Jones gives him the choice, and the dad takes it over letting the other guy. And when he says why, he's like, that guy's known to cleave flesh from bone.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I'm supposed to take what you did as like a
Act
service
of love or something like that.
Exactly, out of gratitude. And he's like, yes. Which is exactly kind of what Don. Exactly. I'm sure this was way before the other one.
I mean, she's about to get a fucking uppercut to the belly. So
Well,
even getting hit in the head with a melon is not
That's
like
what I was gonna
ideal. You know what I mean?
it had to be like a peach or I don't know.
No, it was a melon.
Yeah, I mean, it
Wouldn't
could be a
a melon have-
cantaloupe or.
I mean, if it's cracking over her face and dripping, it must have been pretty. It's either a soft melon or.
Well, so I was thinking
If
it
it was a
had to be
watermelon,
soft.
she's getting fucking knocked out.
I think it has to be a harder melon than that, like a cantaloupe. Because if you put a watermelon on on a rope and swung it around like that, wherever you had it attached would just fall out. I feel like you could get like a chain inside a cantaloupe with like a big thing on it and somehow spin it and not have it
A
fly
Morning
off.
Star doesn't have a chain. I think
no?
it's just a pole. I
Oh,
think that's
really?
the one with the pole with the head on the top of it. I think
Okay.
you're thinking of a flail. Is
Okay,
what
I
you're
thought they
thinking
were
of?
the-
I thought
yeah, I thought they were the
Morningstar had
same.
chain too, but
I thought Morningstar and Flair were the same.
I think a Morning Star it's not a sword, but it's like a pole with a ball on the end of it, you know. And
Nothing a
sometimes
quick
there's
Google
spikes.
can't tell us. Yeah, Kyle's right. Well, there's pictures of both, but most of the pictures don't have the chain. Oh no, okay, there's one with 3. Flail has the chain. Mace doesn't have the chain, and a Morningstar looks exactly like the mace. I'm not really sure the difference. Let's see. This one has words. Mace has flanges or knobs attached directly to the handle. A Morningstar has spikes on a round head attached directly to the handle. There you go. So, I mean, his doesn't have spikes, but yeah, just a round head.
But anyway, you're right. I think it would have flown off this stick after like 2 hits. So
Yeah.
I don't understand how this goes. But whatever.
And some medieval
it's-
duct tape helped it on there.
Yeah, they glued it on. Gorilla glue in that bitch.
She's like praying that this fruit trick makes him laugh, and that would be enough. And he's just not amused at all.
Yeah, and I kind of said it before, but she does like feel gratitude towards Dantos
Yeah.
in this.
No, she's like,
"My
oh,
Florian."
yeah, right. Like this might actually work. Like,
Yeah.
If she would have like wailed, like she just kind of sat there. Like if she might have like cried and like flailed, like if she acted a little bit it might have helped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. She said she was like covering up her head. She said she's like trying to cover up her head and stuff.
Yeah,
staggering around.
But what he had in his mind is like, we're gonna beat this bitch bloody.
Yeah.
And she's getting juices running down her face.
Like, this shows you how much of a psychopath Joff is. Like, this would probably satisfy most 12-year-old boys who are trying to like humiliate somebody. But like, not Joff. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's already laughing at her. She said,
I mean,
everyone's laughing
how many
at her
12-year-old boys would have the fucking idea to beat this girl bloody? I mean, that's like some fucking Omen type shit.
In the throat with crossbows for asking for bread.
Yeah, my dude's a little messed up. You're right.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. So Joff was not laughing.
Nope.
And he's basically like, all right,
calls on Boris and Marin.
Let's do it.
Just ignored the whole hound. Like, you're right. Nothing ever happened with that.
Yeah. So, yeah. And so Marin tosses Dantas to the side, and Boros does most of the dirty work. Punches her in the gut because Joffrey tells him to leave her face because he likes her pretty. So he punches her in the gut, pulls her hair, and then whips his sword out. And she thinks he's gonna just slice her throat.
It's time.
But he starts just like smacking her in the back of the legs with the flat of his blade, and like smacking her so hard she thought her legs were gonna break.
That sucks.
12-year-old girls are small, dude. Like, my sister's like that, exactly at that age. And like,
no, it's
holy
little.
shit! Like, if you hit her with like a metal sword, even the flat of that thing, you could definitely break her legs. 100%.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's crazy.
For sure. She's probably got like stress fractures or something. She's fucked up.
I mean, she talks about it the whole time later in the room. Like, every step she takes, her legs are on fire.
The hound does try to stop it. He says enough. Yeah. But Joff still isn't happy. He wants her stripped naked, and Boris yanks off the front, exposing her to her waist. And
so she's trying to cover up. Now she's not only getting hit, but also has to cover up in front of this crowd.
Yeah. And now they're about to go in again. And
Joff says exactly what you said, Jeff. Like, beat her till she's bloody. And then he says, he says, what's he say, Kyle? Where's the quote that I was talking about earlier? I don't actually have
beat her bloody. We'll see how her brother fancies.
Yeah. So to me, that meant like, we're going to tell your brother what we're doing to you. Like, hey, if you keep this up, this is what's going to keep happening to your sister. Which in my mind, like, why not just retaliate with Jaime in the same way you would if it was like a death to Sansa? Why would you just do? Yeah,
you definitely could. But then you're just like opening Sansa up for more.
Yeah. Don't want to put her in any more danger.
What I was going to say here is that I think, Joffrey is already on Arya's list, but if she knew about this, I think she'd probably add Boris and Marin to her list of people for sure.
Marin is on there.
Oh, is he?
He was the one who came in with Syrio.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
So Marin's on there already.
But I think Boris would end up on there as well. Because, I mean, even though she doesn't really like Sansa all that much, I still think this is pretty over the top. And for this old dude to just be like cool with this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't think they're old. They're probably like, what, 30s? They're Knights of the Kingsguard, so they got to be like kind of in there. Like,
and they're like freshly appointed knights too, right? Like,
kind of an old dude.
Yeah, compared to a 12-year-old, 100%. But like, yeah.
Yeah, and the average life expectancy in Game of Thrones right now is probably 45.
I just meant like this isn't like no Maester Aemon out here whacking a 12-year-old. Yeah. This is like, it can be
this guy has some muscle.
Almost in his prime or right past his prime, you know?
But Tyrion walks in, immediately is like, what's going on here? And questions Boros' chivalry.
And he's got Bronn and Timett with him, but Timett is described as what, like the wildling with the burned eye, which is pretty dead giveaway of who it is. And then also just the sellsword, which is probably just Bronn.
Yeah, definitely Bronn.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think later he gives commands to Bronn.
His pet sellsword has to be Bronn.
I think later Tyrion's even saying like Bronn and Timett. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Boros doesn't really have much of a comeback. He's just like, I'm just doing as the kid. I do what the king bids. And that was like a Marin thing too. Wasn't Marin just like
and then they pulled their fucking swords out.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Yep.
Bronn wasn't having that. Bronn coolly was like, yo, put him away. Yeah. You're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, he's like, don't you want to get blood on your pretty white clothes? So basically Tyrion's like right away, he's like, give Sansa something to cover up with. And the Hound takes off his
cloak, throws it to her. She's like, oh my god, this is rough, but it feels like silk right now. Holy shit.
Is this I feel like we haven't had two POV characters together in a while.
Yeah, for sure. And that was kind of what made me think about that before, right? Like the whole Tyrion, you don't get his side of the stuff. It was kind of one of those like, oh yeah, that's right. We haven't seen the outside of somebody we normally see the inside of lately.
Yeah, just this book, we've had so many Tyrion chapters that like in this, like I kept thinking like when Sansa's like, oh, the cloak felt rough against my skin. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. This is a Sansa chapter, not a Tyrion chapter. just because I'm so used to reading Tyrion as a Tyrion chapter. And I don't know. I just like when the POVs kind of cross path. Also, we haven't really talked about it too much. I don't think maybe we have before. We don't get Rob POVs. Like, it's abundantly clear here that like Rob POV would be like pretty useful because there was just a battle that we're only going to hear things about, right? Like, have we talked about that before? Like, we definitely haven't spoiler sections.
Yeah,
and I think
yeah, I definitely mentioned it might have been spoiler. Like, how dope would it have been to see like the Whispering Woods in a Rob POV or something?
I think we talked about that for sure. But so I think part of that is because writing battles has to get old to some degree.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that.
And I think it kind of keeps the focus on the politics side of it versus the fighting is kind of there rather than it's being a book about war, you know?
Yeah. And you have it adds the whole suspense factor too, where like you have these people that can go off and you just don't know what's happening. You get, get pieces of information that are contradicting or just completely false. And you just don't know what the truth is for a long time. This probably isn't one of them, but yeah. So what's next? Sorry. I got all off topic.
So we get a decent back and forth from
Tyrion says like that's the fucking queen, the future queen, man. Like you can't be beating her in front of all these people. Like
and she didn't do anything. She's like, is she your brother? Yeah. Like what do you come on? Like he's like, I do as I please.
She's the blood of a wolf. And he says, and you have the wits of a goose.
Yeah, what a great comeback. I'm the king. I'll beat her if I want to.
You can't talk to me like that. The king does what he wants. And Tyrion's like, Aerys Targaryen did what he wants. Did Cersei ever tell you what happened to him? Boris is like, you can't threaten the king. And he's like, I'm not threatening nobody. I'm
just
educating my nephew.
Lesson.
It's like, if you open your mouth again, Bronn, Timett, kill him. That's a threat. But then he opens his mouth immediately after and nobody kills him. It kind of pisses me off.
What did he say? What was
his? The queen will hear this, is what he said.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt. Should we bring her down here right now?
Yeah.
See what's going on
right now. How Joffrey? Should we get her down here? And Joffrey's like, oh fuck. Like she would not. Like
we get a little Michael. We get a little Michael Scott quote next too.
What?
Fear is better than love.
I like the Tyrion quote. It's like, nothing to say, Your Grace. Good. Learn to use your ears more and your mouth less, or your reign will be shorter than I am.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's just using your being a bastard as armor too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. All dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes.
So then the Michael Scott quote.
Big Michael Scott quote. Would I rather be feared or loved?
Them to fear how much they love me.
I want them to
love me. Joffrey wants them to fear how much they fear him.
Yeah. And another great Tyrion comment is, pity that Stannis and Renly aren't 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, exactly. Because Joffrey's like, she fears me. He's like, I accomplished what Cersei told me to. And Joff's like, yeah, that's not really doesn't help.
Yeah,
seriously, it doesn't help anything. So he's like, yeah, Bronn, Timett, get her. We're leaving.
Let's get her out of here.
Yep. So they're out. They go back. They go to the Tower of the Hand. First time Sansa's been here in a while.
Mm-hmm. Since Daddy died.
Yeah. Brings back some memories.
It's like Simba going back to the gorge.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. She gets cleaned up by some serving girls. They strip her naked, wash her down, get the juices off her. Maester Franken comes in. What's that? Yeah, she's pissed at nights.
Only Sir Dantos and Sandor.
Kind of breaking her fairy tale view of everything. Fine. Like, I mean, we've been seeing that kind of building here, and I think it's just another piece in that, you know?
Yeah, but I think she thinks something here that like Glow was getting to that like we've said, I think we might have said before, like the ones who kind of act like the best to her are the ones that aren't, like the only ones that aren't knights. Dantos is doing all this stuff to help her. He's like borderline knight. Then we have the Hound who like straight, she says like the Hound hates knights. Now I do too. He's the one that, again, like not really sticking up for her, but he called enough. He didn't hit her right away when Joff said hit her, so he gave her the cloak.
He's been trying to help her too.
Yeah, so like I mean, yeah, he's not going above and beyond, but he's not being
in
direct.
Their conversations and stuff. He's been giving her tips and trying to help her at least get through all this without as much conflict.
And now Tyrion, who's like clearly not a knight. Those are the three who's kind of like helped her so far in King's Landing. So yeah, she's like, fuck it, I'm on the Hound side. I hate knights too. None of these guys are true knights anyway. So maybe she doesn't hate all knights, but she hates all these fake knights. And then we got the new Maester Franken. So
which,
yep, go ahead.
what I was going to say here is like it's breaking this fairy tale, but
Mhm.
she still has this fairy tale faith in Dantos, which needs to go away. It needs to go away. Like I think that's going to be her downfall.
He's gonna save her, dude.
The
But
drunk
On
Dantos.
his horse.
Yeah.
He was right out of there on his
Right
brother's
around.
stick.
If this was Harry Potter, Dantos would be in there. They'd be out of there.
yeah,
So like Nelson said, Maester Franken tends to her.
Why we got Mr.
Give her
Frank
some
in here?
dream wine.
Parcells in the fucking dark cells.
He might be out by now.
well,
but
he's
yeah.
not. Yeah, he's probably
He's
out,
tending
but he's-
Cersei's fucking
I don't
toenails
think
right
he's
now.
in his highest standing anymore. At least I think Tyrion probably.
He probably just like, well, did he tell Cersei like you can have your pet, like, but he
Yeah.
won't be the fucking
Won't be on the council,
Grand
yeah.
Maester?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they gave her.
Dream wine. She goes to sleep.
Yeah, he tells her that when she wakes up, it will be a dream. She knows it's bullshit, but she drinks
She
it
wakes
anyway.
up in just fucking pain.
Hurts everywhere. She remembers right away.
Starts crying again.
Gets dressed. She tries to leave, and there's a lady outside her door with a couple of necklaces, and one of them is made entirely of human ears. And Sansa's like, "What the fuck?" And
Who are you?
the lady's
so
like,
she hasn't seen these people around.
she might have. I don't know if like
Yeah.
Sansa doesn't really say like what the fuck. She thinks like, oh fuck, well, that's
Yeah, I'm
weird,
sure.
but
Yeah, it's
basically all that happens is she's like, where you going? Chilla's like, where are you going? And Sansa's like, I'm trying to go to the Godswood because she thinks she's got to go see Dantos. And Chilla's like, oh, you can pray here. Then she goes back inside and she's like, oh shit, I know where I am.
Arya's old place,
Arya's old
old digs.
Yeah, thank you. Stuff's changed, but it's still the same. And then people start bringing her food and water and everything. She's like, take it away. Girl still leaves it. And she's like, wait, I am really
yeah,
fucking
and then she
thirsty.
starts snacking on it.
She slams 2 glasses of water and then she starts nibbling on some olives.
Dude, I love olives. It sounds like they're just getting charcuterie boards or antipasta passed up to them all fucking day.
It does sound like charcuterie boards. That's what I was thinking about earlier.
All I could think was, who the heck eats olives, man?
That's what I was
Oh,
thinking,
dude, I
Nasty.
could fucking pop olives.
They're so
don't
gross.
like olives.
Oh,
like
man.
'em.
Oh, no.
Do you
I'll
know
eat 'em on a pizza and that's
How I
about
Met Your
it.
Mother?
I know the show. I've never watched it.
You never, nobody's, I thought
I've seen
Jeff watched it.
episodes. I haven't watched a lot of it.
In How I Met Your Mother, the main character has a theory that any two people who are like perfect for each other, one of them likes olives and one of them doesn't like olives.
So
me,
the other
me and
person can
Kyle
eat
are
'em.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So anything that comes with olives, the other person can eat them.
A martini.
I think it's something like that. I haven't seen How I Met Your Mother in a while. Let us
Yeah.
know in the comments or Discord if
Average
there's something
show,
about
don't
there's
worry
an
about it.
olive. It's it. You would, dude. You love average shows. You would love How I Met Your Mother.
Name 2 average shows I watch.
Mean Girls.
I think Mean Girls is an average show.
Is it
But
a show?
Do you like Mean Girls?
wait, you mean Mean Girl or New Girl?
Yes, New Girl.
Mean Girl is an elite movie.
Oh,
That's a movie.
New Girl.
New Girl is an average show, and I'm just watching it so I can stop being asked to watch it.
The one about high school basketball players.
One Tree Hill is an elite show,
That's
and
an
I'll die.
average show.
I'll die on that hill.
You'll die on that One Tree Hill.
I love that show.
You like shows like One Tree Hill, which makes me think you would like.
That's
It's
not
like
true.
I mean, dude, you would love it.
You can't
Jeff,
name a
how
second.
big of a fan are you of Vampire Diaries?
Never seen it. Never will.
All right, so she finds out that she's in Arya's room. They bring her some water. She wants nothing to do
She
with it.
downs 2 glasses of water.
She's just trying to be strong in front of these people. I don't need your fucking help, right?
Yeah,
Is that what's going on here?
Yeah.
and then in comes Tyrion, my boy. Knock knock. Comes in.
My lady, I trust I am not disturbing you.
It's weird. I don't like not being in Tyrion's head. I want to know, like, is he playing at something here? Like, what's, you know what I mean? Like, what's he thinking during this conversation? I don't like it.
That's why this happened in a Sansa
I
chapter,
know.
I think.
What the fuck? Come on, George. I mean, good job, George, with the suspense building and everything.
Fuck, George.
Wouldn't it be cool if after the books were done, good one, but after all the books were done, if he went back and like rewrote like the other POV for like,
Oh my god, he
Common
can't.
sense.
He can't even finish one book, let alone rewrite 6 of them.
Never gonna happen.
All right, so Tyrion's in the room, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we get the details. I like the deets.
yeah.
The deets.
I'm all in on the deets of this battle.
First off, she's like, "Am I a prisoner? Like, I basically tried to go to the Godswood, and your ladies wouldn't let me go. What's the deal with that?" And he's like, "You're my guest."
guest.
She's like, "I've heard that
Love
before.
having you
Right
here.
before fucking I got smacked by Joffrey." Right? That's what they keep telling her.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure maybe they're probably just more open-handed about it now, but
He don't give a fuck about her.
she notices he's wearing his hand necklace. She's thinking his face is so ugly, it's hard to look away from. It's like almost like mesmerizingly ugly. Poor Tyrion.
Poor guy. Food and clothes good for you, my lady? Is there anything else you need? Just let me know.
Yeah, it's all bullshit, small talk.
Yeah, and then basically goes into what Jeff's saying, like, you deserve to know why everything that happened this morning happened.
Yeah, you got beat for no reason, so now I'm gonna tell you the reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it seems like he didn't really just like come into it. She asked, like, what did Lancel mean when he was led an army of wargs?
Well, I think that's a probing question. At first, he just comes in and says, you deserve to know what's up, and basically says, like, Rob stuck into the camp, cut the
6
horse
nights
lines.
ago, yeah.
Cut the horse lines, let the horses in among them. The horses went crazy.
You're right. I see that now.
And then she's just like, after she hears the story, she's just like, Rob's vile. Fuck him. I can't believe you do that. Like, fuck that guy.
Just smiling on the inside.
Yeah, like, she's
yes,
so
Rob,
happy.
kill them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill you.
Kill you all.
of
She's
you.
like, oh my God, what a fuck face. I can't believe you would do that.
Tyrion knows.
Yeah.
He's completely on to this.
Yeah.
Like, he knows.
What a good
And
idea. Sorry, Kyle.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, that's not an unexpected answer either. I don't think. I don't think Tyrion held it against her that she would,
I think he's definitely curious to see how far she's willing to take this.
Yeah. Or just how well she's gonna like play like the I'm
The
loyal.
lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like how far she'll take it. Yeah.
But
So-
what a goat move by Rob, just letting the horses go, cutting them loose, and then sending in, because we've seen how much horses react to the direwolves.
Yeah.
And just like let Grey Wind run around freely. It was probably, it was chaos. They tell you it was chaos. Fucking people getting trampled, guys just running for the hill.
I mean, we've seen how like horses and stuff react around like when John was trying to escape the Night's Watch, he got found because Ghost showed up and scared his horse, right? Like there's been multiple times where these things just are near horses and horses freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
So like, go ahead.
So she talks about Sir Lancel saying Rob led an army of wargs, and he says Sir Lancel's a wineskin warrior. Which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I never got that before. I always thought that meant like, I feel like wineskin warrior
Drunk,
could be a term that just means like somebody who gets drunk and talks a big game but really isn't. But for Lancel, it has like this double meaning.
Yeah.
It's so good.
He actually kills people with wineskins.
He wouldn't know a warg from a wart.
That was pretty good.
And he's like, I think Rob had his wolf, but I think that's probably all that was. Yeah, I guess we're kind of jumping around with the details, but that's when they get more into the cut the horse lines. All the horses were going everywhere, trampling people in their sleep.
Stafford's dead.
Killed by your boy Rickard Karstark, so he got
a lance through the chest, right?
Yeah.
And he was just like the most unprepared captain or general ever.
Yeah,
Stafford.
exactly. That's what Tyrion starts saying later.
But so he was the next man up. So I mean, that means the next person up is going to be even worse, I guess.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people died, it sounded like, too. So it's not even the next man up. It's the next couple people after.
Well, I think the next person up would probably be another Lannister, right? Because Stafford was a Lannister. Is that true?
Yep, Stafford Lannister. Uncle Stafford.
I honestly don't know the answer, but I feel like we've heard of Stafford having a son before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's captive right now.
You might be right about that.
I am.
Well, no.
Martin Lannister.
Martin
Is it
Lannister's Tyrion's. That might be. Is that his son?
Yeah, he
That's
said
his
cousin.
nephew.
I was confused with
or
this.
you
So
say
these are
cousin?
so my iPad note taking, my iPad like thing that I use.
Where's
to
you
take notes,
making family trees?
keyboard?
God damn it! You have fucking Amazon. Just order goddamn
It's
new
here.
keyboard.
It got here literally like an hour before. It's fucking
Okay.
baby blue too. I didn't fucking know it was gonna be baby
No,
blue.
I like that.
It's not bad. It's like, well, my sister would love it, but
Put some stickers on it. You'll never see it.
100 more have been taken captive, including Jast's sons and my nephew Martin Lannister. Who's Jast? I don't remember Jast.
I didn't get the time to put these guys in my notes. These are definitely the first time we've heard of these people. They're not in my notes before. Jas, Lord Lyman Vickery, and Rubery Rax. We haven't heard of these guys at all before. Those are the guys who died. So I didn't get the time to put them in my notes because my shit was broken, just got here. But
Son of a bitch.
I was confused by that.
Great
Is
call.
Martin Lannister the same as Jas?
Martin's actually Caven's
No.
son. Sorry. I was wrong.
Okay. I was wondering if Martin was Jas' son. It just sounded like
Who the fuck is Caven?
Kevin, whatever, dude.
I knew who you meant.
It sounded like
I
the
did
way,
too.
the way Tyrion said it, Lord Jas' son could have been the same person as Martin Lannister. Like, Jas' son and my cousin, like, as the same
Yeah,
person.
I got you. I
I
can
was
see how you
confused.
think
And
that.
I didn't have it in my notes, didn't have time, but yeah. Okay, cool.
And she was asking like, "Oh, there's no sorcery then, right?" And then,
Sorcery is a sauce fool's spoon over failure to hide the flavor of their own incompetence. My
Love that.
mutton-headed uncle had not even troubled to post centuries, it would seem. His host was raw, apprentice boys, miners, field hands, fisherfolk, and sweepings of Lannisport. The only mystery is how your brother reached him. Our forces still hold the stronghold at the Gold Tooth, and they swear he did not pass. So we were mixing there.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't you just go around the Gold Tooth? I mean, I guess they're saying that they have eyes out.
I mean, I think the whole point of the gold tooth, like, and it's like being important, was that it is such a choke point, right? There's like mountains to the
Yeah.
south of it. I'm pretty sure because we talked about this. So
Like
while
you gotta
ago.
walk by it to get there, type of deal.
It's pretty much like a mountain pass that you seem to have to go through, at least based on the map. Well, I think you need some new socks, man.
I know, same.
Dude, I always try, when I fold socks, I always try and match them up.
Have
So yeah,
to.
I mean, I matched it up with another bad sock.
So you just throw them straight in the
Bro,
trash,
I do the
bud.
exact same thing. No, you just find
No.
those ones.
I
Exactly.
wear these for work.
No, you put
Throw
them
them
in the trash, and you get a $5 pack at Walmart
Yeah.
next time you're there.
Dude, these are Nikes, dog.
Dude,
They cost like
you can
20
find
bucks
like a
pack.
24 pack of Nikes for $4.
Another thing I'm against is I hate having any socks that are different. Any socks that are different. They all have to be the all exact same
Nah,
size,
that's not
shape,
true.
brand.
As long as you can find a match, you can find a
Because then it
match.
just makes folding way easier.
You're right, Nelson.
Well,
It's
yeah,
way
but
easier.
then as you wear them, they get darker. Some are darker. Some turn
I know, I
grayer.
try and match those. You're right. You're right. I guess that's
Or
ears.
you just end up looking like our other friend Kyle, who just is wearing fucking 18
Dude.
different pairs of socks.
in college, Kyle would steal my socks out of my drawer because he didn't have any socks. And then when we moved out, we found a
I'd be
trash
so
bag
pissed.
full of socks under his bed that his mom brought him on move-in day, and he just never opened. Literally a trash bag full of clean folded socks that had been there for a year. What a fucking
You know you're a
I'd be so
psychopath
pissed.
when you don't even you don't even
lunatic.
try to match your socks. He just puts them all in a drawer. Like that's fucking crazy.
Just put shorts on backwards.
He does do that too.
There's our map, boys. So yeah, there's a lot of
I
mountains.
mean, you could easily go like far north through
Tumblestone.
Tumblestone and not even. Where did they get attacked? Sarsfield?
No, this is called Oxcross. They said it was 3 days ride, so I'm guessing it was even closer than Starsfield. Like within like closer than the K in Castle.
I mean, you would
Rock.
think. I mean, maybe the Golden Tooth is high enough. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty tall tower, but you never know. I mean,
It just
a
seems
fog
like-
could have came in.
I feel like the
It
Golden
could take in
Tooth.
the river.
I feel like the Golden Tooth. Yeah, besides the Tumblestone, like you guys are saying, I feel like the Golden Tooth is kind of supposed to be like the Bloody Gate is in the east.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
like there's just
Mm,
mountains
look at
and the
it.
natural elements. It's just again like a single man could get through those mountains, but Rob took an army through. Right, like that's the deal. Like how did
We don't
Rob
know
get
if
an army
he
through
might have
here?
like got to. Yeah, you don't want to be caught. You don't want to be caught with not your full army in fucking way in enemy territory.
But to that point, it doesn't sound like Rob needed a full army to do what he did. Just needed Greywind.
Yeah, did he do like some?
I'm sure there was
what's
people
the-
fighting. I'm sure there was.
What's the
people
movie
fighting.
where it's like, give me 10 good men, and they go through and like, oh, it's fucking,
That's Game
it's a
of
show
Thrones.
spoiler. Yeah.
No, that's not a show spoiler. Well, it's in season 1 when they're going to the Eyrie. Tyrion's like it's said to be impregnable, and Bronn's like, "Give me 10 good climbing spikes, and I'll impregnate the bitch."
Yeah. But
Anything else on the map? I don't think so.
no, get them up out of here. So
Well, so at the end of Tyrion ranting about how Stafford sucks, he's like, well, Rob's mine, Bane, and Joffrey's mine. Or Rob's my father's Bane, and Joffrey's mine. How do you feel about Joffrey?
oh, I
love
love him
him with
so
all my
much.
heart.
He's the best. I'm loyal to him.
And Tyrion's like, "Really? Even after today?" And she's like, "I love him now more than ever."
It's like someday that lying is gonna do you well.
Yeah, but that'll pay off. That'll pay off one day.
Right
He's
into
like, have
seeing
you had your period yet?
very intrusive.
She's thinking it's a rude question, but compared to this morning, it's nothing. So she's basically just like, no.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, that's good. If it makes you feel better, I don't plan for you to actually marry Joffrey. It's like at this point, there's no helping the Stark Lannister feud. Like a marriage isn't going to fix that. He's like, it's too bad though. It was like one of Robert's only good ideas ever though. So sucks that it's not going
Joffrey
to actually
fucked it
turn
up.
out. But Joffrey fucked it up. Yeah, exactly.
By being a piece of shit.
So she didn't know what to do. She didn't really know what to say to that. So she just kind of didn't say anything. And he eventually fills silence and is just like,
So I hear you're going to
you
the
want me
Godswood
to end
a
this,
lot.
right? Well, he's like, you do want me to end this, right? And she's like, I just want to be loyal. And he just laughs. He's like, yeah, loyal and far away from Lannisters. I can't blame you for that.
She doesn't even know how to really answer because like she's trying to play like, but it wasn't a trick.
It's a loaded fucking question.
Oh, fuck.
No matter
like,
what answer it is, it's not the right answer.
Yeah.
She's picking the right answers though as she goes along.
Yeah, no, she's doing a good job.
I feel like the loyal, I only want to be loyal is a really good answer.
Great answer.
So the next convo is she asked, I hear you go to the Godswoods every day. Like, what are you praying for, Sansa? And in her mind, she's like, I pray Rob kills all you motherfuckers.
Yep.
But she didn't put together that, hey, they're watching me go to the Godswood to meet Dantos.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
which is also like, should Dantos, like, Dantos has to be seen walking in there. I think she went to the
Godswood even before Dantos visited her.
Not every day.
Yeah.
I think this was new.
I think when she went to I think when she went to the Godswood in that chapter, she was like describing it like it was the first time she had been there. I might be wrong.
I don't know. I think you're wrong.
And Tyrion instead of she's like I hope.
Yeah, she says that
Tyrion's like the fighting's gonna be over soon.
Yeah, she wishes
just
everyone
wants
was
peace,
dead.
right?
She tells him she just wants the fighting to be done. He's like, don't worry, that'll happen soon enough.
And you should start praying for Rob to just bend the knee to my father because he ain't gonna win this battle. Battle doesn't make up the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed a weak group of people here. This is no telling of how he's gonna face the rest of the Lannister army. This means nothing.
Yeah. He says, like, basically, before this is all said and done, Rob and Tywin are going to have to meet. And Tywin's not Stafford. So don't go, like, getting all excited about this news. You just better hope that he bends the knee, like Jeff's saying, because if that happens, I'll just send you home. So, like, what's best for you is if he just bends the knee, because then you're outie. Like, we have no reason for you.
If Rob bends the knee, he's dead, right? They killed Ned.
If he comes to King's Landing,
but
what if he just, like,
killed
goes back?
Ned,
What if he, like, refuses
Tywin.
to come to King's Landing? He's just like, okay, cool, we're good with you guys. Here's Jamie. And they have, like, meet, you know, in Pirates of the Caribbean when the two ships, like, meet on the land.
Parlay?
Yeah, they parlay. Exactly. They have a parlay.
How do you not know that word? You've been saying it all fucking weekend.
Well, parlay just means bring me to your captain. No?
I think it's a discussion outside. You pause the battle and you have a discussion.
It's a double meaning. All weekend I've been using it to just like yell like bring me to your captain, not like, oh, let's go have a civilized meeting amongst leaders, which I guess is similar, but
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Parlay, and that's exactly what it is. It's a pause to the fighting.
Yeah, to have a discussion.
So after Tyrion says like, "Hey, don't think that Oxcross is going to happen to Tywin," he's like, "All right, well, you can stay here so you're safe. I'll have my stone crows like keep you safe. Don't worry about it." She's like, "No."
yeah. And
he's like, all right, the Stone Crows are a little scary. I can get you some women, black ears.
She's thinking like, I just can't be cooped up here. I got to go meet Davos. But yeah, he's like, okay, geez, if you don't, I get it. The Stone Crows are kind of creepy, but fine, we'll give you Chella. And she's like, no, like that's not any better. The wildlings scare me. And he's like, okay, yeah, I get it. They scare me too, but that's the point. They also scared little Joffrey and all his bitch Kingsguard. So she comes
and then
up with
Sansa comes up with this great lie here, another great answer, saying that, hey, I mean, this is where my dad slept. I'll have nightmares of his.
I watched people die here.
Yeah,
all my dad's friends.
It's scary up here. That. Which she didn't actually really watch anybody die. She was like locked up in there, right?
Again, like in the I'm getting show mixed up with like she definitely saw some shit in the show, like.
Yeah,
Septa Mordane's like, get the fuck out of here, and she's like running down the hallway. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
This didn't happen here. Like they like took her and like put her and Jane up in a room, and then like
she still knows that a lot of people.
They heard
died
screaming
here.
and stuff. Yeah,
her friends died in this building. I mean, it's a good lie.
It's a good lie.
Yeah, and it's a lie, so it doesn't need to be like Tyrion doesn't know any of that shit. So yeah,
Tyrion, nor does I don't think he truly cares either.
Though.
Yeah,
he doesn't know.
That's what I was wondering too, because he studies. It says he studies her face. He said like, okay, I have nightmares too, so I get that. At least let me walk you back. But he also thinks that she might be wiser than he knows, and he's like, let me walk you back to your chambers. So does that like that took that to mean like he like suspects that she's like playing him a little bit? Kyle, is that what you were trying to kind of saying?
Yeah, I mean for sure. I think that's kind of why. We're not seeing his side of it as well. We've seen so much out of him where he's way more control of these conversations than he ever lets on.
Yeah. But we
So why
normally
would this
know.
be any
Yeah,
different?
we normally know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So I mean, I think that leads to the whole Dantos blowing his cover essentially, and then like they know about the Godswood to at least a little bit of a degree here. And like I said, Sansa didn't even fucking think about it. He said right to her, "We know you go there every day."
Yeah.
Like she just kind of everything else, you know, she's thinking about after he says it. Oh, Rob's gonna kill you. After he's talking about Rob, and but that is like going to the Godswood. Yeah, I'm gonna pray Rob's gonna kill you, and it's like, well.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put together this other piece here? I don't know. It just seems.
I think the
She
only other
missed
thing
it.
to like ask about is now that we have some more like updates on the war, like or at least in terms of like the North point of view. Rob is, I mean, from the map I showed, right, like close as fuck to Castle Rock. It's a 3 days ride. So what's the next thing we hear about from the war? Since we don't really have anybody out there POV wise, like.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that Theon is him and his army are kind of going the other direction here, and Rob's gonna have to deal with that somehow.
That's exactly it. We were talking about earlier. How do we know what Rob was doing? The Theon chapter was before the Cat chapter. Theon told his dad Rob's going to the west. Yeah. So we knew he was going out there. We didn't know the details.
Wait, real quick, about Sansa going to the
Theon had the
Godswood?
inside loop.
What's that, Glow?
Sansa was told to go to the Godswood every day, so it didn't look suspicious.
Yeah, go as much as possible.
So maybe she's not meeting Dantos every day.
She's not meeting Dantos.
I don't think. Yeah, they're definitely not there every day.
Is that true? Well, I don't remember that, but I believe it.
I do remember. I just remembered.
He said come as. I don't think he said come as much as possible to not be suspicious, but come as much as possible. I think what he was saying was like because things
might be here
because things might move quickly and like I might need you here like. Now all of a sudden
at the drop of a hat, like let's get the fuck out.
If you're not here, we're fucked today. I think that's kind of what he was saying, but I'm sure what you're saying is right too, Glow. Where like some days he probably just can't
it does
get
provide
out.
cover for sure.
Yeah.
But all right,
cool. Yeah, short one. I don't know how short the recording's gonna be. I think there was a little bit of fucking around in there, so I'm gonna get it out. But
so what did I say, Jeff?
So you said that we're going back to the previous Catelyn. Your prediction was that maybe not in this next battle, but Brienne's gonna fuck up Loras out of jealousy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because we were talking about that at the end of the other one. Yeah, Loras she's gonna be jealous of Loras at the very least here. I think there's going to be a dynamic there.
What, this is coming out of the kind of the gayness really opening up for Renly last chapter, and
well,
then also,
he just kept picking Loras. She got put second fiddle to Loras. And I mean, I know you were trying to say it was an honor, but I think she doesn't see it quite that way.
Yeah. Well, also the other thing I was saying was like last chapter is also the first like we get a little bit of it. I think a hint in the first one, but like Kat says like, oh fuck, she loves him, like she like is in love with this guy. That's kind of where the jealousy is going to come from too, is what you're saying?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, but I think you know, she's going to be like, oh, you know, like mid-fight, fuck him up or something. But I think she seems more honorable than that, though. So maybe she'll challenge him or something. I don't know. But.
Well, it's good we bring that up now because the next chapter is
Catelyn. It's Caitlyn.
What do you think about that, Kyle? When you saw Cat chapters, bang, bang.
I don't always look at the next chapter because I got to focus on the one that I just read.
Mean when you finish Sansa today and you're like, Cat, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even look at it.
Okay.
No. So
good job, Kyle.
All right. Well, we'll see most of you guys in the Cat chapter next time, and we'll see most of you guys in the spoil section, and some of you guys and Kyle in the Cat chapter next time.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Well, bye now. Have a wonderful
day.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
See you later, Cal. It was great hanging out, bud.
Bye,
we'll see you on the next show for Catelyn 5. But now, on to the spoilers section for Sansa 3. Boys, hot takes? Hot takes, anyone?
Let me scan through my notes real quick because I got a couple notes.
I mean, I don't have much of anything. A few things like Sansa. I feel like we talk about this every Sansa chapter. Sandor and Sansa. Like, he gives her a cloak here. I'm pretty sure in the Battle of Blackwater, when he, like, ends up in her room crying, he, like, leaves her his, like, bloody and, like, charred cloak. And she, like, thinks about it at some point. She, like, sleeps under it.
So they're married?
That's what I was wondering. Like, you cloak a bride, right? Like, in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
like,
but you gotta,
like,
like, be in the sept and whatnot. I don't know if
he's
I'm
got to
buying.
clasp it.
I'm just saying this is at least one time he's given her his cloak.
Oh, there's gonna be a second time.
I think there's a second time during the Blackwater.
But we know, unless it's in the very far future, that they're not getting married.
I think far future is a possibility.
Possibility.
Yeah, if the Hound is the gravedigger, why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Red wines. Anything with them else? What happens in their future? What do the red wines do?
So, I mean, we know. So the next chapter is going to be a huge one for Kyle, right?
Yeah.
Renly
Yeah,
gets
he
stabbed.
should be like, oh fuck.
He's expecting like Brienne.
He's
and
expecting a
Loras
big ass fight, like a
Yeah.
battle.
and then Brienne and Loras like challenge each other at the end potentially, but instead, Kat and Brienne are about to be on the run at the end of the next chapter. After
Yeah, it's a
Shadow
good. It's a good
Stannis.
plot twist.
When that happens, basically like all the people who were Renly's get split between Stannis and Lannisters, and I'm pretty sure like the red wines are just like all of a sudden on the Lannister side. So like they go from hostages to just being like.
So
other
they're like,
people
all
in the
right,
castle.
fuck it, like we lost. Let's go chill.
Yeah, like a bunch of Tyrells and like probably other red wines just show up in King's Landing because like now they're like on the same side. So that's
Right.
probably what they probably just stay there. They might
Right, I
leave.
forgot that the Tyrell is probably the biggest one. They come
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, and again, it's the 100%. The only reason the Tyrells come over is because
Marjorie can be
Anti-Stannis.
queen.
yeah, they just don't like stay. Well, that is like a big thing too. But like Loras is just like fuck Stannis after the whole Renly thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Loras, true.
Yeah.
But they think it's
I guess I
Brienne,
think
though.
it's Brienne. Yeah. Cat convinces a few like Cat convinces I think Cat convinces Robar Royce, who like we saw in the last Cat chapter, like
Yeah.
he's the guy from the Vale who Cat's like I hope Rob's smarter than this guy. Basically, after Brienne stabs him, she's like, Robar, you have to believe me. It wasn't, or Brienne didn't stab him. After the ghost stabs him, she's like, Robar, you have to believe me. It wasn't Brienne. Like, I'm telling you with all my like honor. I can't explain it right now, but it wasn't Brienne. And he's like, okay, I'll help you get away. And then Cat leaves. Well, we hear later that Loras kills Robar. So like,
For letting him go.
just because like, yeah, he's just pissed off and trying to find out who did it, and everyone's like trying to calm him down, and anyone who's trying to stop him just got killed, basically, I guess. But the only other thing I had for this chapter was Tyrion and Stannis get married. Like, they get married.
Right.
Yep.
And he's like doing nice shit for her right here. He's like, do you not want to wed Joffrey? Like, is that something you want? You want to be far away from Lannisters?
Do you think
She's
he
like,
was
I want
trying?
to be loyal. No, I don't think he's trying, but I think there may be some like a little bit of foreshadowing. Like, I want to be like, what do you want? And she's like, I just want to be loyal. That seems like I mean, she doesn't start fucking people, but it's not like she's like super loyal to Tyrion right when they're married. Like, she doesn't really give a fuck about him. She's outie as soon as she can.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool that like they get married and like Tyrion's kind of her savior here.
I mean, Tyrion's always treated her pretty well, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right, Carl. I agree with it.
I mean, Tyrion never hasn't really talked to Sansa that much.
I'm saying from here on out, he always treats her pretty well.
Yeah.
I took note of just like the Starks are unnatural, like they're wolves. I mean, everything we know about these wolves are pretty unnatural. How they even got there in the first place.
Haven't seen one in 300 years.
Yeah.
The one thing I was going to say was like in Borderline, I was going to bring it up with Kyle, but I knew you guys would yell at me for spoilers. When they talk about the warg stuff and Kyle's like, what's a warg? First off, I thought Kyle would know what that was. I didn't know that was a Game of Thrones thing.
Neither did I.
I figured he would know from like D&D.
And then he looked it up. Was like, shit, it's a spoiler.
He looked up the Game of Thrones wiki too. Like I saw when he was reading it, I saw him reading from the Game of Thrones wiki, and I was like really hoping.
How could you see that?
Because I googled it too, and I clicked on the first link said Fenmir or whatever, which was what he said, and the second link said Game of Thrones warg. So I clicked it, and because he said in Game of Thrones.
So that was a spoiler.
There there weren't really spoilers in it. The thing
I
is,
feel like
we've seen some
they've
of
talked
this.
about like warging before.
I don't know if they've ever said
using it
warg.
as a verb. Like
Maybe Jojen brought it up in the last Bran chapter because like they're just starting to get into that with Bran right now. Right?
Yeah.
Like Jojen basically just accused Bran of this recently.
Yeah.
So like I was gonna say that to Kyle, like basically what Jojen said Bran was doing was like that, and Jojen might have even said it to Bran. You know what? Let me check.
can't you do a Control F?
Search of Ice and Fire is a website that is basically doing a Control F on all the books. If I type warg and I can click Game of Thrones or Clash of Kings. Clash of Kings shows up Arya 7 for the first time, then Sansa 3.
So
Arya
when was
7
Arya 7?
The last one we read. Lady Lysa Arryn to win the Veil. He'd brought he'd brought blah, 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 blah. It's all the rumors about Tywin.
Rob.
He sent Gregor Clegane and Vargo Hoat to destroy Roose Bolton and remove the dagger from his back. He sent ravens to the Eyrie. He meant to wed Lysa Arryn and win the Veil. He brought a ton of silver to forge magic swords that would slay the Stark wargs. That's the first time it's mentioned in Clash of Kings or Game of Thrones, which is pretty.
That is
I'm
interesting.
surprised by that. Yeah. So this is the second time we're hearing of it. I wonder what Jojen said to Bran then. Jojen definitely says it. I should have kept that up, but Jojen definitely says it to Bran.
Does he say
Eventually.
warging?
It would have caught that because I searched for warg.
Yeah.
The next kind of thing I have is just like Tyrion saying that fear is better than love. And it might just be a show thing. Does Tywin have a conversation with Tommen? Like, we don't get a Tommen POV. You remember that conversation in the show where Tommen's like, well, if a good king is just and a good king is blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Dude, I saw a meme. I'll post this meme. I'll try and find it and post it in the Discord. I saw this meme and it was that scene from the show. And it was Tywin saying, Tommen, what makes a good king? And Tommen says, having the best story. And Tywin's like, God damn it, he's right. Because that's what Tyrion says at the end of that brand.
A great story. That is such a stupid
That's pretty
reason.
fucking funny, dude.
Dude, that was losing.
That is pretty fucking funny.
I'll find that meme and put it in the Discord. I'll put it in the so I put I think there's a new spot where I put spoiler. I had to do this recently. There's a spot where we put all the normal stuff in the Discord, and there's a spot where we put all the spoiler stuff in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's podcast resources, spoiler
I
resources.
thought you just had like
like
a show meme thing.
I do. I do for the. I can put it in there. I guess I can just put it in there. The show memes. Yeah, it's a good call.
How did Rob sneak by? Rob sneak by?
I don't know. I think. Oh! What happened was Grey Wind sniffed out a goat tracks through the mountains, and he was able to lead all his men single file through like.
Interessante.
But like it was basically Grey Wind.
Oh yeah, Grey Wind.
And then he won the whole battle by himself, basically too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Grey Wind is
all
the
right,
Stark
one
army
big
right
question.
So hold on, while we're on wargs,
Is Rob Morgan?
is Rob? Yeah,
I think
is there
so.
something
now. Yeah,
going on
Rob's
here?
a warg.
They seem to have a pretty good connection.
We never get that Rob POV. I mean, we don't really have a confirmation. I mean, I think we have confirmation that Jon and Arya are both wargs from their future chapters.
Agreed.
We don't have Rob, so we don't really have any confirmation that he was one. Lady died right away, so it's hard to get any confirmation on Sansa.
Yeah.
But like the rest of the Starks are wargs. You'd have to think Rob had some connection.
I think so.
Only thing is,
I think
though,
he's got one of the
nobody-
best connections with Grey Wind. I mean, they're literally like
Two peas
living
in a
life
pod.
It's
next
so
to
hard
each
to
other.
tell. The reason I think it's hard to tell is just because, like, at this point, dude, Jon and Ghost, like, Jon's not a really warging Ghost at this point.
Right.
Like, Jon couldn't, like, take over Ghost and run him through a horse lines.
No.
Neither could Bran. Neither could.
Yeah, like Rob is giving fucking war plans to Grey Wind, and Grey Wind knows what to do.
Yeah. Like, is
I don't think
Rob
he's
actually,
actively
like,
warging him. I think they just have a really good connection.
Okay.
Like Grey Wind understands what
Gotcha.
he wants, and like
so I'm with that because, like, Varamir Sixskin says, like, he's able to warg. He calls, I don't know if how he actually describes it, but he basically is able to warg. He controls 3 different dogs, and he can warg one of them, but control the other 2.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So I feel like he's like in one, but still has an influence on the other ones. I feel like that's Rob has that influence
Like Rob
on
could
Grey Wind.
Rob could have just been like, go, right? Like they tell him to sit, they tell him to do pretty much whatever, right? And they listen.
Yeah,
So
he's also very well trained, probably.
yeah. So when Rob was like, all right, get him, like he go get the horses, like he'd probably like, okay, Randy, and
okay, Rob.
and when he got his ass. But yeah, all right. So big one here. Actually, I want to do a quick one before my big one. Cat shot. Cat's dying. Cat's
There's a
gonna
cat
die. There's a
dying
dead
with
cat.
an arrow in it.
It's a dead cat.
Oh,
Good call.
But it was blonde. Like I don't know if that means
It's yellow
anything.
too.
I wondered if that was a Lannister thing. When I saw that, I wondered if that was like a Lannisters are going down.
Maybe because like a blonde lion, like a little blonde lion,
exactly,
like Stafford.
exactly.
Like a
Maybe.
Stafford, yeah.
But where
I
we
like
are,
that.
they're not. Oh, Stafford. Maybe it could be Stafford.
Yeah,
I was thinking like, could this be foreshadowing for like the Lannisters going down because lions,
yeah,
cat,
yeah.
blonde, yellow. But like, I mean, we're at book 5. The Starks are gone.
Yeah.
Baratheons are gone. Lannisters are doing totally fine in book 5.
Oh, well, totally fine.
Not totally fine, but they're on
All
top.
right, here's one of my biggest.
Still.
This is my biggest one. I think it's the biggest question I have of this chapter, which I believe definitely deals in the spoilers. All right, so we know that Sansa's being watched into the Godswood, right? Like it's being reported back. We can assume that it's Varys reporting it back because Varys is kind of like working with Tyrion right now, spying type of deal?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does Varys hide that Dantos is going in there as well?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like Glow might be right that like Sansa's just going there every night and Dantos just showing up 1 out of 10. So like even if he does, it's not noticed. The other thing is I think maybe the Hollards, like Dantos Hollard, they might have a connection. This might be totally off. They might have a connection to the old gods. So like maybe it makes sense why like these two. Hold on. Let me just check that real quick before I.
More or less, my question is like, is Varys planning on Dantos getting Sansa out?
So like I don't think. Well, I guess the short answer in the next Tyrion chapter, I don't think we hear anything about him knowing what Arya's up or what Sansa's up to. Like I think this basically goes completely unnoticed by everyone until Arya leaves.
Until she leaves.
Sansa. Jesus Christ! Until Sansa leaves.
Yeah, I mean the only person that should know is Littlefinger. Maybe that's why they say the gods would, because he knows like the little birds aren't going to be hanging out there as much.
Not really sure if they're old or not. Can't tell. It says they're from the Age of Heroes.
The Age of Heroes is
You know what that is.
the first men fighting.
Children of the Forest, right?
The first men and the Children of the Forest. It followed the Age of Heroes was an era during the history of Westeros which takes its name from the great men and women who lived in the years of peace that followed the forging of the pact between the first men and the Children of the Forest. Many nobles trace their family history to the Age of Heroes, and many songs, stories, and legends are told about it. It is an era that is shrouded with mystery, with more myth than fact known about it. There are numerous tales of Age of Heroes, many to count. These are histories not recorded in books, but passed down from generation to generation. So yeah, this kind of goes more like post Isle of the Faces pact with the first men, but pre-Andals.
Okay.
So like the guy who didn't have Simon Silver Eyes or Star Eyes, the guy who didn't have eyes, Bran the Builder, like these are all Age of Heroes characters, like first men. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when they were founded. So yeah, they have some first men blood, so maybe it makes sense why Dantos is coming to the Godswood. Again, like I just it's weird. Like read it from like I think Kyle's right. Like if you're reading this from Kyle's perspective, it seems like Tyrion's up to something. It seems like he realizes Sansa's kind of lying at the end. It realizes like it's a kind of a leading question with the Godswood. It's the only thing he asks her that's like not relevant to the topic, like to anything that happened today. Like, hey, you got tortured today. Here's why. Oh, also you do this one other thing. Let me ask you about that.
Yeah, that is. It's a random question, like why he would bring that up.
So it's definitely that somebody's like Tyrion by himself isn't seeing Sansa go to the Godswood. So someone's telling him this.
Right. I think it's fucking Varys.
I agree because I don't know who else would do it. Maybe. Yeah, it's got to be Varys, right? Like, he has Lancel on his side now, but Lancel shouldn't know this either. Unless Cersei's got him watched. But again, like, if Cersei's got... Like, it doesn't... I don't think it matters because whoever's got her watched, I don't think anybody finds out about it. Right. About what's actually happening. Or the actual plan is.
If you do see them in the Godswoods, I would assume you could see them talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, from the first Sansa chapter with Dantos, like... Yeah, like I told you guys before, like I think there's a lot of theories that back this up. The whole meeting is initiated because Tyrion comes to Littlefinger like, "Hey, we have this whole veil plan for you," and Littlefinger's thinking he's going to be
2 weeks
out of King's Landing real soon. Yeah, so he's like, "All right, let's get Dantos, Sansa, let's get her ready so we're good to go when we leave in 2 weeks." Then that gets ripped out under the rug, and this Lily like. Sansa meets with Dantos for like until halfway through next book. Yeah. Right. Until the end of next book. Until Joffrey dies.
The wedding.
Which is at the end of the
we got so
Storm of
much to fucking go. That's crazy.
So all I'm saying is like anything that they do see, like Arya and Dantos have nothing important to talk about. Like even if they do meet in the Godswood, all she could say is like when are we going? And he could be
not
like
yet.
Not yet.
And then the conversation is over.
How's that wine?
That's pretty much it.
Do they start passing notes to each other too?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. Maybe at some point he gives her the necklace.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean I didn't have much for this one either. Pretty
short
short one.
Wow, way to bring your A game.
Next one's not super long, but a little bit longer than most of them have been recently. So, cat chapter, and it'll be a good one.
Bye-bye.
Then I think we get back into Glow's favorite,
Yay,
Johnny boy.
John Glow.
Or Bran. And I did see, when I was doing that search, I did see that the next Bran chapter we have, Jojen goes all in on wargs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy. Oh boy.
So we might have jumped the gun with Kyle on that one a little bit, but
Oh well.
I don't think we gave too much away.
Well, I mean, he gave it up himself, so.
Yeah, and Jojen's about to explain it in like 3 chapters. So
What can you do?
all right, but we'll see the rest of you guys in the next chapter. Make sure to follow us on Discord. Click the link in the description. Get us on Discord, and we'll post any resources for the podcast there. Give us a like on YouTube if you follow us. Leave us a comment. I think there's a way to leave a review on Apple. That's really helpful. And I think we actually have a decent amount of views on Apple now. So
Yeah, give us that
do
review.
that if you listen on
Do
Apple.
it.
Give us that review. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys, and we'll see you guys in the
Peace
next
out,
chapter.
everyone. Winter's coming.